Girl, we got some tea?
With the honey and the sugar.
Nah, we gonna need some wine for this one.
Well, wine me, please.
Welcome back to another episode of Wine Me Please Podcast. Where's your favorite trio? We doing what we do best. It is Shaniqua.
It's Dominique.
And Candace.
Yeah, we are here to slay these airwaves.
Period.
All right. Dominique, tell the people what we talking about today, or Candace, whoever. Who got the card?
I got the card.
She knew that.
What are we doing here?
All right. I was traumatized before we started.
So today is maybe a little bit touchy, but it's something that needs to be talked about because it is important. Unfortunately, it is happening more often, and I hate to say it, but it's becoming normalized. Unfortunately, today is World Suicide Day, and we will be talking about suicide prevention awareness. Because this may be a heavy topic, of course, we're going to drink wine.
It's a thumbs up for me.
So the wine.
I felt so internally conflicted. She's like.
So the wine that we have today is Biltmore Reserve Riesling. This Riesling is described as having a beautiful balance with sweet apricot aromas, light honey flavors on the palate, and a crisp finish. I love a crisp. I love something that's just like, yes. Pairs well with fried oysters. I'm definitely an oyster girl. Sushi with pickled ginger. Definitely a sushi with pickled ginger girl. Caviar, not that girl. On toast points, honey and citrus elements, spicy dishes, a variety of goat cheeses, brie, hard cheeses. 12% alcohol. And today we are pairing this with a spicy dish. So we have buffalo chicken dip on a Bruschettini cracker. Fancy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Swirl it.
Oh, I can smell the honey.
I was going to say it smells really good.
Sniff it.
Sip it.
Cheers.
Sorry.
She always be thirsty.
Oh, this it.
And that is really good though.
I like that.
Yeah.
This it for me.
Like you could tell it was. You said honey.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, because it has like a very
It's
subtle
the
taste of like sweetness, but not sweet.
It's something
Like
else that
honey
they said
flavors,
on
yeah.
here. Yeah, I can get that. I like
like
that.
it.
Yeah.
The apricot aromas, that's what it was, the smelling of it. Yeah, I like this.
Has the like fruity aftertaste.
This could be in my backyard for the summer for sure.
For sure.
So we have our buffalo chicken dip on a bruschettini. That is so good. I love that. Ooh, nice crunch. I know y'all getting all the crunch in these mics. Okay?
ASMR. You start tagging it.
Right. This buffalo dip not bad.
No, it's not.
I'm usually skeptical about store-bought buffalo dip.
Yeah.
Got it from Target.
I like making my own. Oh my gosh. Everything got dark. Goodness.
Aldi's has a good buffalo dip too.
I'm sure, because they got a good chicken salad.
The one with the cranberries?
Yes.
Baby!
I'm going to have to get that one.
Yes. Okay.
I do like that.
I ain't gonna crunch too much in that, yeah.
You can turn the sound down.
So, about this. Time to get serious.
Today on Channel 5 News.
Which one of us brought this topic today?
Oh,
I think it was a mix.
I think it was a mix because we were talking about mental health just in general. But the topic of suicide awareness, I think we could talk a little bit about, obviously, statistics of what we know of, because they might not be up-to-date statistics that we know. But we can also talk about like factors, signs, symptoms, things to look out for, and just general resources that we can try to maybe give out for people to have more information about. So I think one thing, I guess, one way we can start the conversation is it being more relevant, right? And so I just did a recent presentation And the highest risk for suicide right now is our teenagers, which was somewhat surprising, but not, because I haven't worked with teenagers and youth in a long time, but it was just kind of like also sad too, because of like, what is the circumstances that is changing in the world that
people so young
feel so hopeless about their future.
Yeah.
So,
did it say like what were the demographics of those in that study?
So typically, intersectionality causes more factors, right? So if you're, more of a minority, female, LGBT, biracial, if you're biracial, you're at more risk for suicide than Black or, even
probably
Native American.
Identity issues and stuff.
Yeah, that was a surprising factor. And so those little nuances add more, but I think the age range was from like 12 to 17, mostly girls. And so it was just like,
I can see that. I think a big influence is social media. It is the easy access to bullying and into cyberbullying. How quickly things can get around and spread about you. In the past, with us growing up, it was just, it's what I heard. And now people can easily see it. People are creating fake pages to talk about you.
They can create stuff.
People are bullying you who you don't even know.
Parents bullying their own kids on social media.
Exactly.
I wish I could report that as child abuse.
Exactly. When people are, physically disciplining their kids on social media, putting it out there,
shaving their kids bald,
exactly, and things like that. So I think social media has a huge impact on our younger people. Now that kind of contributes to the suicide rate with our young kids, unfortunately.
Cyberbullying is very much so.
And who do we hold responsible for that? Because I think the bullying starts at school, but then it gets taken.
Don't be addressing it,
and it gets taken home on these platforms, right? So then and then even like. The kids are working from tablets and laptops, and even now in the school, these little emails and things like that they're sending messages to, like, how much is it the school responsibility? How much is it the parents' responsibility? Because it's not just happening in one environment.
Yeah. When I was younger, I've always been a kid that wanted to raise their hand to read out loud because I thought I could read fast. I've always been a kid, but I just feel like at what I can recall, kids' issues being afraid of being bullied if they got a problem wrong, or if they didn't get an answer right, or didn't read, or messed up while reading. But now kids are like, I have to have these type of shoes, Mom. The little girl who got bullied because she didn't have a Stanley Cup. Did you guys hear about that? Like, so she ended up, the kids were bullying her because she didn't have a Stanley Cup. She's like, I do have a Stanley Cup. So she went home to her mom. She's like, Mom, can I take your cup to school? Her mom was like, yeah. Gorgeous cup, bedazzled out. Cup probably has to be at least $30, to be honest, because it was a completely bedazzled and pink rhinestones. Very gorgeous cup. The kids were like, she was like, see, guys, I do have a Stanley. And they was like, let us see the bottom of it. These are like 7 and 8 year olds. Yeah. Let us see the bottom of the cup. She showed the bottom of the cup. She's like, you don't have a Stanley. And they like bullied their girl so bad. You're bringing fake Stanleys. You brought a fake Stanley. So, her mom, of course, took it to TikTok, and then all of her TikTok supporters brought that girl a Stanley. She had got like 50 Stanleys shitting on bitches.
Yeah, bitch. No,
but it's like even things like that now. It's like kids as young as 7 to 8, like they have to keep up with like a status or an image.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Cause I know one, speaking of understanding, I remember seeing across social media like it was a school that had implemented a policy, and they told the parents, like, your kids cannot bring a Stanley Cup to school. It was something else they couldn't bring to school either because of the bullying that was happening, because some kids don't.
Like, why are we not focused on education?
And it's like...
That's where I just sometimes feel like I like the uniform aspect, but the other part I hate it.
I definitely wanted to.
Some parts I hate, like let them have some individuality in some aspect, but like that's what the uniform cuts all of that stuff out the way.
Yeah, no, I agree with uniform. It's like for elementary school, high school. That
I was gonna say, I think
but uniform, because it does cut
a lot of that bullying and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a school that had implemented it. It was like no Stanley Cups because it's causing a problem. And it was a particular book bag they couldn't have.
That was a book bag thing was a thing too.
Yeah.
Them expensive book bags. Yeah, I remember
like,
that too.
Dang.
And parents was going crazy.
Like growing up, it being that bad. You know, people still got bullied when we was in school. Like bullying has always been a thing.
Yeah.
But to this magnitude, I don't. Nah, cause people. I remember like if somebody would get bullied because they may be a little dirty or wearing the same clothes, same time of week, whatever.
My pop bottle glasses, I'll never forget y'all.
But even then, it wasn't like so egregious that it was constantly happening. At some point, they were just like, all right, whatever. We leaving this alone. It's not fun anymore. Like we all know that
it's getting violent. I want to say it's getting more violent. I think the bullying has remained. I think it's getting more violent and it's getting more viral. Where it's like, I feel like we have less people that probably stood up and said when wrong was wrong.
Yeah,
where now people, we used to beat up bullies. Like, oh no, we getting the bully back. Now it's like everybody got their camera phone out recording it, and now it's like going viral in the school, and that's how teachers are even finding about it in the first place. They're finding out fights in the bathroom off social media that they didn't even know took place.
Yeah, kids now are being isolated more than in the past. Because I feel like even you had some kids that were just like natural loners. But then you had, but interestingly enough, even though this is a sign of bullying, those natural loners are the kids that you didn't mess with because you didn't know what they was thinking.
Right. Exactly. I'm going to always be nice to them.
I'm always be nice. Okay? I ain't messing with them.
But
I used to be friends with them, like, hey, you want to have some of my lunch? We can have some of my lunch. I stay on the mysterious kid side, good side.
Doing some bullshit. I helped you.
Hold my hand.
Exactly. But I feel like even then, even the kids that was looked at as like nerdy, so to say, had their own group of nerdy friends.
Yeah, their own community.
Like, the band, like you was a band kid. You had some kids that were like in bands. Like everybody was still able to have their own clique. But nowadays, everyone's outlook now is to look rich, even as kids.
Yeah.
It's like I gotta look like I have some type of money. And I think
like
that's
they don't
what
understand social media is not a real place.
It's not.
It's really not. It's so
like
much.
My uncle, like,
the rage that kids have taken away technology as a form of discipline. You know, this whole gentle parenting thing. The rage that kids have, taking away their phones, laptops, things like that, and social media, these kids, like, there's really an addiction attachment to it. That's kind of scary, too.
Yeah, because that's what they use to raise them.
Yeah, and at very young ages, like, my baby loves Miss Rachel when he will watch her, but for the most part, like, he'll focus on it, but then there's some moments where he'll not, the TV be on and he won't watch it. But like even some parents will wake up and they give their kids the TV or they give their kids the X, Y, Z.
Tablet,
like when
to go to bed.
Exactly. And it's just kind of like even with Dayla, he's only 9 months, but I could take stuff away from him and he won't cry. Like how many times he has to move a phone? Right. Like and he's not on a phone, but because it's around, he's like, I want it in my mouth. Let me put it in my mouth. Like
give me that.
So it's like he can put it in his mouth, but he doesn't understand the concept of it. There are some babies that understand the concept of phones. Like I seen this one image and the baby had to have been like 7 months. And the mom took the phone and the baby started hyperventilating, like going insane. It's just kind of like, you know, so many kids, like they, at early ages, they get used to having access
getting cell phones at 7, 8 years old.
You also have a unique thing that you do with him that I noticed when I was at your house. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. That when he wakes up, it's like a 10-minute grace period of no type of electronics.
Yeah, not even TV.
Yeah.
To the point where I need to get to the point where he forgets.
He's self-regulating himself.
So like he's just like running around picking up stuff. Yeah, he sees our phones like you said because he want to put it in his mouth. But we take it away. He just go find something else to pick up. Another toy. Like whatever, give me this, right? And I just thought, and I didn't get a chance to say that. So kudos to you. But I thought that was pretty cool. I was like.
Cause she had to remind me because I was like, okay, I said, you woke up, we got 30 minutes, no, nothing. Like, you about to walk around and explore. And then at one point, he got fussed and she was like, it's been longer than 30 minutes.
Right. I'm like, I think he wants to see his girlfriend.
Right. I think he wants to see Miss Rachel now. It's been a while.
And then she turned it on. And then he went to watch it. But then he was back doing other stuff. So it was like, you can tell he's not attached. Not hooked on the TV.
Yeah, but I think that's the issue with like you said, like with kids, they get attached to social media. They get and because it's a part of their daily use, bullying is so accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say are some of the telltale signs to look out for when suicide may be a question or a concern?
For youth or just generally? Because I saw sometimes it looks...
It's a little different. Probably
for youth.
For youth, since that's what we're talking about.
I was going to say youth definitely isolate more. Having minimal or no support. Poor sleeping, poor hygiene, poor study habits. Their grades are failing. Poor attendance, truancy, acting out behaviors, maybe risky behaviors, drug use, promiscuity, and just maybe some combativeness. I think sometimes we conflate some of that acting out as like teenage behaviors or, there's this thin line of like over diagnosing kids and then what is just behavior and what's in a phase.
Yeah.
And I think, of course, you have to look at the whole context, but if you feel like you are trying to nurture your kid and you're being responsive, you are doing the best that you can, and you're still seeing a lot of these behaviors, I say go get them help. You know what I mean? Have them sit in front of someone and talk therapy. It doesn't have to be medication and it doesn't have to be all these things, but talk therapy can work for teenagers as well. And so if you start seeing stuff like that, especially the hygiene, not wanting to get up and go to school, not really having much of a social life, not really having much ambition for anything, get them some help.
At least to rule it out.
Get them some, at least, and even talk to the school. And talk to the school and see if you see some some consistency across the board of that isolating, and you know what I mean.
If they have any avoidant behaviors towards school, like I think unless a child has like maybe siblings or something like that, or maybe just like a close-knit family and they just don't have the desire to like have friends because they got their own close friends. I get that. But like your child's lack of even talking about friends, talking about, who they talk to.
This is their exploration stage, whether it's with friends, girls, boys, sports, college. These are things that they should be coming to you about, conversations about something.
If they're just, like you said, that isolation. Like if they are isolating themselves.
Right, somebody. They should be having a conversation about something. This is a formulation of their identity. So if they're not talking about something, something's going on. Yeah,
absolutely. So what about if we pivot towards adults?
So high risk, and I don't mean to minimize, but the next high risk is white males. And when people recognize
African Americans for a very long time, they tried to say, and I'm just like,
they was lying because it's been white males.
It's when you look disproportionately at Native Americans, but overall white males, so everybody's kind of just like, okay, so what are the factors there that increase risk for white males? I can't seem to. I'm just going to just throw that out there. I'm just going to throw that out there. And that's not to minimize. It's just I'm not in those shoes to know where the stress
comes.
Because,
And it's not to say that it doesn't.
And not to say that it doesn't exist. It's just I just can't necessarily. I can understand on certain levels, obviously. But to me, they're the same factors that we all kind of deal with. So I do struggle to understand that statistic. But at the same time,
it's also probably the stress or I don't know how to say this, but what we kind of just said, like what could you be going through because of your background, that they're oftentimes that them wanting to come forward about what their issue is minimized.
No, absolutely.
Because in their mind, I'm not supposed to have this problem, and I do.
Or actually, I'm having a light bulb moment, and it's just in the ways that we've been oppressed in expressing ourselves in those freedoms. How much of that is just internalized hate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of the things that our culture identity that we've been suppressed, whether it's white patriarchy, respectability, politics, all the things that, again, we've been minimized into embracing their culture. How much of them not being able to express themselves and be themselves with the homophobia, with all these other things
that's what I was
that has caused
it's,
them to. So now, so in that
it's
sense,
them
it's
holding a lot of stuff.
Because I'm not, and then it's like the idea
they don't have the right to feel.
Yeah, I'm not supposed. I don't have the right to, and unfortunately, because society has put them whiteism at such a high place. How can I be this person and be going through this? I'm not supposed to be going through this.
Yeah, according to society.
It's according to society.
Yeah.
Exactly. So even that can be a lie. I was about to say something else, but I completely forgot. So it must not be that important.
But yeah, I think it kind of comes down to a little bit internalized hate.
Oh,
so I don't know. Go ahead.
It reminded me of when we were able to say, being black and able to have black pride. And there's one lady, she was like, I don't know how to feel because I don't feel like I'm allowed to be proud of who I am. And she was really battling that I can't be happy to be who I am. I don't know how to express that I'm happy to be who I am without making somebody else feel
white?
Yeah.
Okay.
Without making somebody else feel
yeah.
Get what I'm saying? So she was having a really, really hard time understanding that. So that's what just kind of made me think about the whole white idea of maybe they don't even know how to express themselves without looking at.
I remember reading it a long time ago. I don't remember all the facts. But I learned that years ago that white male, and I feel like it's 50 and up, 55 and up are at the highest for suicide. But it's because of the things that you were just talking about. They can't express or feel like they can't express those different things that they're going through because, like you said, the world has put them on a pedestal.
On a pedestal, exactly.
And this is how you have to. So you don't have the right. And if we being honest, we as black people put them on that kind of pedestal too, because we looking at them nah, you enslaved our people, you did this, you did that. You don't have the right to bitch them on about nothing. But in reality, they do got the right to bitch them on about whatever that's going on in their life. You know what I'm saying? Their particular life. We ain't going to them people's job. We don't know what their finances look like. We don't know all that stuff. Yeah. So those things, they still have just regular human problems. When we take race out of the equation, they still have those problems.
You brought up another point of 55 and up. That is a huge point in that a lot of their identity is in labor and work and that whole American dream. And so one thing I do hear a lot is post-retirement and sense of purpose and things like that. Yeah. And, because of for whatever reasons, they don't typically have good relationships with their kids and things that.
Because they're not
they're in nursing homes or retirement homes by themselves and nobody gives a damn.
Yeah.
And so again, after retirement, your whole purpose, your identity of providing for your family, whatever attitude or demeanor you brought to it, you don't have that sense of purpose anymore.
Absolutely.
So yeah, okay, it's all coming to me.
You take the race out of it. Just look at the human.
I was just yes. You had to get me there. You had to get me there because sometimes I'll be like.
I was talking to Shaniqua the other day about a family member who has some mental health. Their mental health is better now, but they are very much so very quiet. They don't really talk. They're pretty much a loner for the most part. But over the holidays, they were very talkative, very active, wanted everybody to come around, was helping plan the holidays. And I told Shanika, I was like, I started praying because I thought that he was considering possible suicide because of the idea, and that just being one of the signs to kind of look out for is that when someone has a sudden change in behavior and personality and who they are, usually they are now finally okay with, and then because they've attempted in the past. So when they have a sudden change in who they are and how they are and how they have presented for a while, is usually because they have made peace with the idea that they are finally at peace with the fact that they won't be here any longer. So that being something to look out for. If you have a person that has been, that always appears to be depressed, always appears to be sad. Thank God that wasn't the case for us. He was just happy for the holidays.
Right.
I was like, how the story? I was like, finish the story.
No, he was just happy to get out. I told him, he just happy because he get to see y'all this y'all one time. Y'all gonna see him maybe twice out the year. He ready for it. He done geared up for this moment. And he finna have a good time, and then don't talk to him for 6 months.
Exactly. So, but because everybody was just like, you see how excited he
Yeah.
is. So I was just like, oh my god, no, like just but and then like I was like texting him more often to check in on Jesse where his head was, but that is something to take serious and to look after. Usually they begin to give things away, stuff that they don't want anymore, either because they know it's not going to be here or because they want you to have something to remember them by. So those are also things to look out for when someone may be at risk of attempting suicide. Just to consider. Something else to also I feel like to be aware of, and this just goes towards like if you know someone that may be at risk because of mental health, the things that you keep around in your house. Men take a more fatal and this is going to happen final approach. So usually it's a weapon, so or a jump or things like that. I've heard, I'm not sure if things has changed since then, but for women sometimes there's still more of a hope that someone will find me. So it's usually by medication. It takes a while to process. Even if they were to hang themselves, sometimes it still takes a couple of minutes before someone completely passes, unless it's like a neck snap or something like that. But so just to be aware of those things that you have in the home if you know that a person is at risk of attempting suicide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some factors to think about is like if other people in their family have committed suicide or have mental health issues in their family, a recent loss, if someone else, had passed away or left by suicide, divorce and separation is a factor. Child loss, losing a small child. Grief in general, I think, is a big, strong one. Life changes, losing a job, legal issues. Life transitions with school, maybe dropped out or failed. I think people think about big career changes too. I think about athletes in such a sense of like adapting to like a different culture, a different lifestyle, things
available,
right? So like I think major life career changes and things like that are something to be mindful of as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Because everybody don't handle it the same.
Exactly, and for those that people that have survived their attempt, for the families of people that have survived their attempt, never ask. I feel like you should want to know why, but don't be selfish in saying why would you want to leave us? Because as crazy as it may sound, for many people, suicide is not selfish to them. It's very selfless because they feel like those around them will be better off if they were not present.
That's always their reason.
So never say like, oh, why would you try and do this? Why would you want to leave your family? Why would you want to do? Because you're making a moment about
yourself,
them, and about yourself,
and instilling more guilt.
And it instills more guilt. Exactly.
They be quick to say that.
And if there is an attempt in the future, it will be a final attempt. So just be very cautious about that. If anything, at that moment, just love on them.
Right.
See what they want, even if they may not want your physical, or just see what they want for at that moment. But don't make it about you.
Asking about suicide does not implant the thought that someone will commit suicide. So that's another known myth as well, is people think that if they bring up the conversation, it's going to implant the seed that someone will want to commit suicide. That is not true. Right. So if you feel like someone's at risk or you're concerned, it's okay to ask.
It will likely, 9 out of 10, probably prevent it more because they feel seen.
Exactly. In the end, like, oh, you care.
Right. You've noticed me.
Right.
That
because that'd be a part of the thing. Like, nobody's even care.
Exactly.
Like, I've had a client that say stuff like that. She be trying to say it in a jokingly way, but I be like, baby, I'm finna call the people.
It's not funny.
I got your address. I'm finna do a call the people.
You ain't about to get past that. You ain't about to get past that.
What you know? Rewind that back. Yeah.
Like, at least we know one person that would care. We've already identified one person. So, ma'am, like, let's talk about this. But they just want to be seen. They want to feel like they're seen, heard, and cared for, and that their problems isn't like
A burden.
Yeah,
It's escaping the situation. Most people don't want to die. They just want to escape their situation.
That's literally all it is. Because they literally say, I just don't want to deal with this no more. Or I don't want to be here. I don't
want to deal with this.
Yeah. If this could just be taken away, then I can breathe again. Because they feel like they're drowning in whatever that is. Like, I know I've had clients that had stated stuff like that. It's like, oh, you know, this financial burden.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm struggling.
We took away financial stress, that would take a lot of depression away.
This could just be
Go
fixed,
away.
and I don't have to keep, every time I think I done got somewhere,
2 steps forward.
then I'm 30 steps back, and it's like, how do we get back here? And it's one of those things. It's like I can't really help with, because it's like
some of it's environmental, circumstantial issues.
It's always circumstantial, and it'd be like the circumstances
it's
be
big
as
shit.
fuck.
Yeah.
And it'd be like bigger than all of us, and I'd be like,
and you can't say it, but you'd be like, if I was in your shoes, I would probably understand.
Yeah,
exactly.
I had a person say, like, I didn't want to die. I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted to sleep until this is over, but I don't want to die.
I've had a
I just
client
wanted
say
to
that
sleep
too.
until
I
it's
could
done.
just go to sleep, and I don't have to wake up dealing with this no more. And I'd be like, so we got a plan we thinking about? You know what I'm saying? We always got to ask about that plan. Is it a plan, or
do
is
you
it
have
just
access?
like a passive
Is it thought?
suicidal?
Right.
Because it's tough, that shit.
And passive suicidality is a thing as well, too.
Yeah. And it's just like, I just want this to be over. And it's, you know, and a lot of things is if they can just remove that one big factor that's weighing them down, they'll feel like the weight is lifted, and like, okay, now I have more, because they feel like they don't have nothing else to live for, because this is the biggest thing in my face, and I can't move past it, and I can't see around it. That's the problem. They can't see past it, so it's like, what else is there to fucking live for? You know, that's that's how their thoughts are going sometimes. So it's like,
and especially even when I think about just doubling back to like the idea of white men, I feel like there's probably like there is a heavy like thing on black men to be like providers as well, but I feel like for some white men it's almost like an expectation. So their thing to live for sometimes is their family, and seeing their family succeed and getting their kids off to college, and once that's done, it's like and they're gone, and they're probably not gonna feel forgotten about.
Hate them now, or whatever,
because they don't realize that I was away because I was always working to make sure that you got here. Exactly, and that's like in general. So I use that just as like a point of reference, but in general, I feel like when people make things like idols or more to them than what they're everything. Like I told myself, I think I told you that too the other day. I said, I love my baby down, okay? Down. But I refuse to make him my everything.
No, absolutely.
Because he's gonna grow up one day.
He's gonna get married.
Have children possibly, and you know, I don't wanna feel that loneliness, you know, and I don't wanna create that unhealthy relationship either. But I don't want to make anything my everything, because everything at some point has to go.
That part.
So, but yeah. Did you say clock it?
Yes.
Stop. Let's go.
Point of the message is make sure you are taking care of your mental health and looking to the signs and symptoms of yourself, your peers, your loved ones. The number one reason for suicide is loneliness and depression. And so they always say, check on your people, check on your people, and make sure to go get help. They changed the hotline to
call 988.
988. Do they still have the other crisis line or
Which
no?
one?
It was like 1-800 self.
I don't know the full one.
Just 988. Yeah. So, and I believe you can text and call that too.
Yeah, you can. I think so. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I drank all my little wine. Let me pour a little bit in the cup.
I don't want you to pour me no more, but I got a pinch left.
I got a pinch.
Now, I said just pour a little bit. So we hope y'all enjoy. We know it's a little serious, but we had to honor World Suicide Day. We hope y'all enjoy it, and this was helpful. Like she said, check on y'all loved ones. Be a listening ear. Provide them with resources. Call 988 if you feel like you're in a crisis or feeling suicidal, or 911 if you feel like you finna go through with a plan. Please don't. You have more life to live. It is worth it. And with that being said, we're not just your podcast for tea. So why me, please? And of course, follow us on all social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it with your peoples. We greatly appreciate it.
We do.
Peace out. And don't forget, if you want our advice, send us an email to advice@winemepleasepodcast.com.